shifting across anomalous ambits, across anomalous microwaves, impelled by strange alchemical distinctions, rife with ghostly umbilical drainage. Like solar zodiacal disappearance or suns in deep cerulean de-emergence, spinning as a general glossary of vertigo, or a de-engendered timber, or a burning uranium necromantic, absorbed with spells, with eclipse syntactical flotation. Again, suffering from de-existence, from source spiraling eclipse boundaries, so that my motion baffled, incessant, nuclear with maximal displacement. Each gesture hypnotic with bifurcation, with stunned subliminal ciphers. Therefore, an exfoliation of mangers, of sand, of microscopic riddling tires, of sight and dazzled electrons. Therefore, I exist like fish in a smokeless eclipse channel, as a scorching rain that reverses, and that the balance distorts, as in a well of carnivorous metal, or as full of rapid isolation, or as a sudden tendency to not exist. Like green approximal labor, as though the body were focused like lances, by projection as interior rambling, so that the blood loses weight. Then the carnage dissolves as breathless theatrical mosaic, as ghosts hyper-extended in bondage. In consequence, my hands flutter in a vat of mirages, having lost the reach of navigable tonics, of magnetized systems. The reactive heavenly jungles, the newfound Bedouin zeal, guarded by flashes of zinc, by sudden inflationary rotations. Examine one's personal pivots, one's shafts, one's origins, the gamble ink of one's grasses, so that the mathematics of ability is no longer tested as fixed savagery by production. It's no longer the natural germination of doubt, the prone expression of consequence, as the literal force which unseals me, which scatters my wealth in subnuclear geometry. No one skill provides me, gives blood to my advantage, not classical vocal concentration, nor the gaze. There exists the sonar crystal, the camaraderie of darkness, the hesitation by expressive solar degree. So animation is heightened, is squared by cognitional sum, becomes flight and quantum transition, the magic etched in a phantom field, in a true penetration by There then exists the mind at the core of a kindled parallel splitting of a tragic flow-time connection. Life being the power of wave as missing ensemble is outproportioned by lion, a game stage as a photographic ballerina, as impersonal grafting, as magical rotational interblending. Thus, the sun in a montage of death with its wasps, its riddles, its hypothetic neurology. This is where I stand on an ocean of somatic glass. And there's several dark and green emblems near blazing lunar suspensions. As monstrous and opaque as tense equational substratum, I tend to glow in lessened alabaster memory, in motionless compass, in distance symmetry by perception. The arch monomial meridians, the states of distilled refraction, flared through poisoned infiltrations just to vanish and re-exist, as though a central spectrum had fallen, as though one had lived in spurious magentas, in a magic trinity of guises in an outer formica of florets, dispersed as electrochemical permutation, as soft, as cold and iridescent intensity, so that the taxonomic, the ruthless, the single volatility of particles is negative by confine, as panorama by extensive scorpion degree. As brainless methodology, there are ants, there are oblique medicinal diffractions as directed by sudden befoulment, as floating vipers in a lake become open neon obscurity, become a phantasmic hole made dark by a thesis. So with the body of a morbid hanging down, my aura burns by shifts, by ambles, by mirages, by the sun in its primordial morass summoned from a spectral locust feast. Through electric bartering grams, living as if a spectrum had been transmogrified across a sum of exploded solar windows. Amidst motions of viral infamy, of sudden discharge pontoons, of magical Vincian sails above ships of pure matrescence. Enthralled by empty Minoan game dogs, debating oxygen as form, debating menace as ideal, as one listens to fire, in dense eruptional velvet, in hanging hydrogen mirrors, so that each image is shifted back and forth between gales and the apparition of gales. So that unicorns of Shakahoyak become ceaseless to condense as forms of the earth, but take on the body of enigma as transparence, as blackened meteor and abstraction. The sun no longer quantified by strange calendrical posses, but it becomes phonetic differentials which ceases to quarrel with the magic of fragment as schism, as mist, as a power cast before oasis. Become game dogs, unicorn mirrors, spun as a weightless ocular thirst, as a conjugate distance evolved from the force of a clarified activity, like darkened water is shot, a scale which loses humidity, then the eyes always focused as pleas for hushed exhibits.